Thank you. I give the floor to the Minister for Fisheries, the Honourable Semi Kroy-Labisau. You have the floor.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Tanya Waqanika for the question. Honourable Speaker, the electronic monitoring system was developed through the assistance of the Food Agriculture Organization, FAO, from 2015 to 2019, with funding assistance on electronic equipment, in-country training, and payments towards service providers. At the end of the FAO's engagement, government then allocated $600,000 during the 2020-2021 budget year. Since the equipment and training needs had already been cared for, the amount of $600,000 was committed towards the 1. Payment of 6 trained staff salaries inclusive of FNPF and allowances amounting to around $123,619.65. And secondly, payment to service providers, Setlink International, for onboard and onshore service maintenance with an amount of $476,380.35. Honourable Speaker, sir, during the utilization of these funds, we identified that part of the funds would roll over to the 2021-2022 fiscal year. To address this, we had to make appropriate adjustments to ensure that funds are utilized to its full capacity. That is why, Honourable Speaker, the 2021-2022 fiscal year will reflect a reduction in budget to $380,000. Honourable Speaker, this allocation will cater for staff pay of $123,619.65 cents. Additionally, the balance of $256,380.35 cents will go to any gear changes or replacement that may be needed due to the nature of EMS operating environment. So ultimately for service and maintenance. Honourable Speaker, sir, this is similar to the question raised by Honourable Salote Randrono, as these projects are carried out in phases. Due to the Ministry of Fisheries diligently following laid out procedures and systems, delay the completion of work for Koro and Waqanika ice plants. Let me briefly touch on the process required to finalize these projects. Honourable Speaker, the construction of ice plants involves a long process, both technical and administrative in nature. All these processes must be executed with due care and diligence to ensure that funds is utilized with optimal returns on investment back to government. Very briefly, Honourable Speaker, the process of construction of ice plant includes but not limited to the following. Firstly, engagement with landowners and scoping for land and water resources. Secondly, interagency coordination to undertake scoping and land demarcations for titles and leasing arrangements. Thirdly, interagency coordination to undertake scoping and drawing of plans and costing estimates. Fourthly, tender put out for contractors through Government Tender Board for convening of Technical Evaluation Committee. Fifth, upon approval, contracts done up with contractor and subsequent procurement and RIE processes takes place. Honourable Speaker, sir, process 1 and 2 earlier mentioned on engagement with landowners for consent on the site, confirmation of water source, and land demarcation for titles and leasing arrangement. This process is one that can prolong the construction plan, and I wish to state at this juncture that the Ministry of Fisheries will not move into step 3 and 5 of the process above if these issues are not resolved. Honourable Speaker, sir, in comparison, for the Dia and Moala, that were new stations we built 3 years ago, that required step 1 to 5. Compared to Rotuma, where we build the ice plant within the government station, Most of the needed mandatory steps were already covered, which allows us to construct the ice plant straight away. Honourable Speaker, this is exactly what happened with the site that was given to the Ministry of Fisheries for Koro Ice Plant. The land that was initially cited for Koro Ice Plant was later discovered to be under dispute by the neighbouring landowning unit, and also we were not able to get the consent on the majority of the landowning unit until today. The water source that was identified was located on a separate piece of land other than the one previously selected. The allocation of a budget provisioning for scoping this year will enable the Ministry to conduct another site survey with the relevant interagency stakeholders with Koro Island Development Committee in selecting the most appropriate site. Honourable Speaker, sir, the same shall be revisited for the Wainingundu site, and it is important that we all understand that these technical processes must be fulfilled and done right. At the first step, for steps 3 to 5 to effectively execute when it falls through. I wish to reiterate, Honourable Speaker, sir, that the Ministry is well aware of the ice plant needs for Koro and Wainingundu. These two sites is very much still in the plans of the Ministry and will be implemented when all technical and administrative planning issues have been checked off. Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Honourable Linda Tambuya, supplementary question.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I'm actually glad the Honourable Minister has chosen to discuss further about the ice plants proposed in Wainingundu and Koro. I would like to ask the Honourable Minister a question about the practicality of building an ice plant in Wainingundu. I mean, for those that have been, I mean, there's no place for boats to be able to safely dock. It's just, there's nothing there. It's just the seashore, and boats have to come up. But has he considered the very close neighboring area of Sangani, where there is a wharf, and that's more, practical to put an ice plant rather than Wainingundu to service the same area? Thank you.
What expertise do you have?
Thank you. Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honourable Speakers, and I thank the Honourable Member for the supplementary question. Our technical team have examined that. There are 3 sites within Wainingundu, so the decision will be finalized by the teams that will inspect it on the ground.
Thank you. We'll move on. I give the floor. 6-9. You have the floor.